Dude, I was actually gonna start you off by saying sober stylist.
Yes.
Because that's like your
That's
1-2
my
thing.
identity right now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So, would you say that being sober is like your number one thing, or being a stylist? Because you have sober first in your bio.
My sobriety is my number one thing. Like, I would say it's like, though I love my family, I don't have my family unless I'm sober right now. So it's my sobriety is the number one thing in my life, hopefully for the rest of my life. Okay. And then family, and then work. So
are you talking about like your parents and them, or you have like...
Do you have
any kids?
Nope, it's just me.
No?
Single, on my own. I like it that way.
All right.
Yeah.
So do you live near your family?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They all live here?
They live in like a couple blocks from me.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. So, but I did at one point not have a relationship with them. I've always had one, but not a super strong one. So, and now that I have that again, it's like I don't ever want to be there again. So.
I definitely feel you there. Like I have, in my family, we've had like problems as far as our family connecting in general, period.
Right.
Like, it's just like not like it's firing on all synapses or whatever that term is.
Yes.
You know? And like my dad drinks. He is what you would call an alcoholic, but like if you didn't know he drank, you wouldn't know he's drinking when you met him.
Correct.
Like, he is just so...
functioning alcoholic is like what we like to call that.
Yeah, but typically if anybody's going to meet him that is with me, he's going to be a little tipsy because he's just like... he's not at work. Like, he'll drink maybe even before work.
Okay.
I don't know.
I used to drink during work. So
yeah, there you go. See, it gets like crazy, too.
Not like while I was working, but like on a lunch break.
Yeah.
That's a bar break.
Dude, I used to work at a place, and I mean, it still is there, Snack Crate. They have a keg, and they have
while you're...
Yeah,
like,
they suggest...
in?
Yeah. While you're there, they're like
glad
beers...
I didn't know that before.
Yeah,
I would have been like, I'm applying there.
I worked there for so long, or well, not so long. I worked there for like a summer, and I was like, are you guys drinking beer? And they're like, yeah, there's a keg in there. And then like they would come out and be like, yo, there's fresh beer in the keg. Like, they just did the tap or whatever. And I'm like...
I appreciate that, but that's also coming from me, so it's like...
It's also a super young company. Like,
true.
Both in, like, the person who made it, and it's, like, not that...
Most of the people that work there are, like, on the younger side, right? Early 20s.
I graduated with the owner of the company.
Cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that was him either. I saw him in the building, and I was like, oh, sick, I went to school with that guy. And then it took me, like, a month and a half or 2 months to figure out, like, oh, he owned the company. Like, I remember being in school, seeing him in classes, and, like, we just never, like, crossed paths like that,
right,
but we
like
would
you knew
see
who
each
other were.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And we didn't even communicate then. I just saw him. I'm sure he knew who I was because I was an employee.
I've seen, like, in movies and in, like, I don't know, no one really here, but, like, friends that I was friends with in high school go off to college, work in a big city. Like, on Fridays they do that. Like, casual Friday, and they'll all drink at the end of the day, but... I don't know how I would do with that.
That always, like, I always wondered, like, how does that work when you're, like, super young? I'd say, like, super young, like, he's 30-ish.
But the company has been, I mean...
And he's got to be, like, maybe a millionaire?
At least, I would think, by now.
He owns his own building downtown.
Yeah, I know exactly where that is.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think I've ever...
And he owns Foil, if you know what Foil is.
No.
It's like a surfboard... You see people riding on a lake, but it looks like it's literally hovering above.
Oh, with the little stick at the bottom.
Yeah. I don't even know.
He's the one that created that? Or he owns a company that has them?
Yeah.
One of the two?
His is called Foil, but I'm sure there's other companies. But I don't know if he has, like, the patent on creating it, because he does have, like, a crazy good mind, but...
Interesting. Yeah, but I've never seen... I mean, I guess this is... I'm 28, so... But most people I know that have worked there were all, like... 21, 22.
Yeah.
And so,
I
guess it makes sense.
I do jujitsu with some buddies, and they were also working there. But, like, on lunchtime, some of the people there would, like, go do mushrooms and come back. And I'm like, dude,
and
this
they come
is...
back?
Yeah, and they would just...
packages on people were getting the best boxes.
The best
like,
boxes.
Throw some of this in there.
Dude, and the fucking line moves quick. Like, if
the
line's
like
moving,
nightmare.
Dude, it's crazy because if the line's moving and then the line stops, because the whole place will stop for lunch at the same time and then they'll all come back together. When the line stops and you've been doing the snack part of it as it's going by, as it stops, you get so fucking dizzy
Because you're tired. You're
because you're
looking down at
moving
it
the
the
whole
time,
and then it stops, and then you everything else just goes like this around you. You're like, whoa. Yeah, it's crazy, but it's just run by kids. Basically,
just the thought of doing mushrooms and then having to do something like that.
See, I never got into like drugs
At all.
Never.
Okay.
Like when I was super young, I drank.
Mm-hmm.
Like
you don't drink at all now.
Here
and there.
This is all Hilton stuff,
right?
And I'll have like I can't even remember the last time I drank, but it will only typically be on here
or casually a celebration, whenever.
Maybe I have never even done that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're like opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Well, not now, but in my past life.
Yeah. But like when I was a kid, my dad drank all the time, and I'd be around like these ogres. Like my dad is like 6'3", his brother's like 6'4" or 6'5", and they would just have like these backwoods parties at their grandma's house or their mom's house, I guess, my grandma's house, and anything I could open, I could drink. So you know those little bottles, and I was a little kid. I drank from like 3 to like 10 years old.
Yeah.
So I was like, that was the last time I drank up until I was like 30, I guess, or a year ago. So like 31.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and like even now, I never got. I tried whiskey, and that's pretty much all I drink now. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's like. For me, that's like so hard to like even like I just don't get it. And I say this all the time, and it's funny to talk about with people I know that are also in sobriety because they feel the same way as me. But it's like to this day, 2.5 years into sobriety, I still cannot do the math on why someone would drink unless they're trying to get drunk.
Dude, exactly.
It's expensive. It tastes like shit.
Yeah.
Why do it?
Have
a water.
I will say
hydrate. Do something. It's free.
The only appealing thing to me is cinnamon whiskey. Like that's the only thing I like to drink.
But you like the taste of it.
Of cinnamon whiskey. That's it though. There's no other alcohol that I'm like, yo, this shit is popping.
Oh my god. See?
But it's because I like cinnamon so much. I'm like a sucker for flavor.
Okay.
So if it tastes
it tastes good, you're like, okay, I can drink it.
Yeah. There's also this like butter pecan whiskey that looks like milk. It's like cream liqueur, but it's like whiskey based.
Gross.
It's like really fucking good, dude. I don't know, dude.
See, for me, it was, I don't know. I started out drinking at, I believe, the summer before freshman year of high school. So I must have been 14 or 15. And then...
What got you into that?
I'm trying to think if I even actually drank or if it was after that. Like, I have a memory of it, but it was my older brother had a bunch of friends. He was graduating high school that year, and our parents went out of the country and left us there. And, you know, if I drank, it was probably like a beer.
Yeah.
But it was the summer or Christmas break of my freshman year of high school is when it like really began. And then after that, it hit the ground, and I was drinking occasionally when I could figure it out, you know. Soon after, I mean, I had a fake ID by the time I was 15 or 16, and I hid it for a while, and then my mom did know I had one, and I mean, she knew you had a drink? She knew I had a fake ID, so she knew I was drinking, and she kind of like, and I was pretty honest with her, because I always have been. She and I are really close, so I think that maybe, like, it made me, and I guess her too, feel like I was being responsible. Like, if she's going to tell me not to do it, I'm still going to figure out how to do it. But I would tell her, like, the plan so that maybe she would trust me. Like, you know, she's being safe. She's telling me where she is. I know what she's doing. She'll be home at this time. And so it went on like that for many years. And it was really, like, college for me that really got me going. And then I started doing drugs, I guess, in 2013 was when it began in it. So 2013 to 2020.
You went to college here?
Mm-hmm. I went to one semester at FSU or at TCC. Was supposed to go to FSU in the spring, and I came home.
Couldn't make it.
I didn't like it.
Oh,
it wasn't for me. It was too much. Like being from here, like it's super casual, and there it was like, it was very South Florida based, and nothing wrong with that. But like, I don't want to get dressed up to go out.
Yeah.
So I didn't really make a ton of friends that I like really fell in love with, and I was also dating a guy who lived here. Like, we met this summer before college, so I was coming home every weekend, so I didn't really give myself a chance.
Word.
But I look back now, and it's like, sometimes I regret it, but I also, like, there's no way I would have made it through FSU. Not a chance.
Yeah,
I need to be in a class of, like, a maximum of 20 to graduate. And I did, so I did make it through college, so.
I had a few people I know, actually, my sister and like one of my closest buddies ever, he graduated from FSU, but they're like super known for partying.
Oh, yeah.
Not them too, but like the college.
Like the college.
Yeah,
that's all you do. That's all I did for my couple months there. I mean, I felt like I was done. I did one football season there, and I was like, all right, I'm good.
You dodged quite the bullet there. Because if you would have went
if I didn't
all
choose
the
to
way,
leave, I would have failed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was done. I was
or
homesick.
worse.
Yeah, whatever. Right.
Yeah. There's no telling.
Right.
Also, like, people don't know this about FSU unless you've been there, but it's like, it's very windy. Like, the campus is like,
it's dangerous.
Yeah, and it's dense forestry kind of around there.
Right.
Dude, I can't even imagine
the campus
getting
is
drunk.
surrounded, and of course, like, most of the bars and stuff are walking distance from, like, where we live. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah.
I can't believe that we don't hear about more, honestly. But
yeah, really.
I'm sure if we were to look into it, it would be there.
I'm sure it's been covered up.
I don't want to look into it, but...
That's crazy. I never did do the college thing, though.
At all?
Never.
Good for you.
Yeah, I just was like, well, school already wasn't a thing for me, and then I was like, also, I'm going to have to pay to do something I already don't want to do. I'm probably good on that.
I mean, I'm still paying off student loans, and I am a hairdresser now, so...
Aren't they about to forgive that or something?
Allegedly, and I only owe 8 left, so I'm like, come on, because they're giving up to 10. I'm like,
word.
Give it to me. I haven't made a payment on it in years because I put a big chunk on it at once, probably like 5 years ago, and so now I'm like, I'm not touching it because I'm not paying anything else if they're gonna give it to me.
Yeah, really.
I guess they've deferred it through the end of the year, so I'm good. But I'm sure with interest and everything, it'll go back up.
What did you go to school for?
I have a degree in communications and marketing.
Oh, word.
And I did that so I graduated college in 2017, and then I worked for my dad. He owns a construction company. I worked for him in the office doing bookkeeping stuff because I'm 28 years old. Pretty much 90% of females I know, mostly females that I know around my age are either a nurse or in communications. So the job market was not popping when I first got out of college. So it took me about a year to find a job. And then from, I guess, about a year, 2018 through the beginning of 2019, I worked for a corporate restaurant chain. It was miserable. I always joke that that's what drove me to drink.
Dude, I know a lot of people in the food industry that definitely had problems. Like a buddy of mine in Mobile, he was a sushi chef. And he got into really bad problems over drinking.
And I did that too. So that was like a big part of it as well. I served tables, bartended, whatever, through college to pay for, whatever I needed and or my habits. You know what I mean? It's like you would go and work and then drink it afterward. But when I was working in like my post-college, like my office life, it's like I worked in a singular office with nobody else in there in an internal office, like in an office building. So like I had no windows.
Oh, wow.
It was horrible. Like, it was one of those jobs where I was, 22, 23, making way more money than I should. And I was like, this is the American dream. I'm really doing it right now. I hate my life, but I'm rich. And so it was one of those things where I was like, in December, I'd be like, I'm going to make it to February. I'm going to make it to June. And then finally ended up getting laid off. And I was like, oh no. And then all of a sudden I was like, hell yeah. Because they paid me severance pay for like 2 months.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, so I did nothing. And then that's actually in 2019 is when I got on at Volume 1 working at the front desk.
Oh,
so
that's dope.
I always kind of I had applied to go to cosmetology school a couple times in college, but my family's pretty traditional. And I respect that about them. They just I had already started college. I'm so close. We've already paid for it. You can finish it or you can go to hair school and, you're on your own with the tuition for that. So I kept going to college, graduated, and then when I went to Volume 1, I really took that job, one, because I needed a job, but it was a huge pay cut. But I wanted to make sure that this is still what I wanted to do before I went back to school again. So that was in June of 2019, and then by December, I was going to hair school. So
how long is hair school?
A year. So I've actually only been...
You're super close.
So I've only been doing hair since I went to hair school January 2020, and then... You'll love this. Okay, so January 2020, I start hair school. March of 2020, the world shuts down, beginning. March 26th is my last day drinking. I went to rehab on April 10th, was there for a month, came out, continued hair school, started my apprenticeship at Volume 1 in June.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was an eventful little time for me there. But so I haven't been doing hair that long, but because school was closed down, I ended up finishing hair school on Zoom. Which
What?
correct. I think there's probably like 4 or 5 of us that I went to school with that are still doing hair, which is a shame. But
Do you think that has anything to do with the Zoom?
oh, I do for sure. And a lot of people, like, if you didn't want to do an apprenticeship, I mean, we didn't learn anything in school,
Yeah.
which, like a lot of school, you know what I mean. You really learn once you're in the field. But with hair, it's, you know what I mean. It's half and half. You learn the basics, you learn the safety, you learn the disease control, that kind of stuff. But I'm a strong believer in the fact that you not can't, but most likely won't be super successful unless you do an apprenticeship. Yeah. But I got lucky because most people do hair school, graduate, and then start an apprenticeship. But I started mine right in the beginning of school, so I doubled up. So instead of me, I'm a year ahead of most people that go to school, do an apprenticeship, do hair. So I'm a whole year ahead, basically. Yeah. So I've been doing hair on my own out of my apprenticeship for a year now.
That's dope.
I know. So I don't know how I got here, but here we are.
Wow. And you're at one of the premier salons, which I would say is probably the most premier salon.
I don't know. You know what I mean?
You're I don't like flex.
You know what I mean? We do really well. You know what I mean? We have a really great following and a really great, like, support from the community, which is, like, one of the best things. And I think that's a big part of that is because of the education program. Like, there's not a stylist that comes through to Volume 1 that hasn't been trained enough to where my boss, Hurst, thinks that we're ready to take on his level of clientele. You know what I mean? So, and it's hard. And it's a lot of work. I mean, I was working, 50, 60 hours a week sometimes in my apprenticeship, and that was it. Yeah. But that's, I think, what it is that everyone has such an extensive training, so people feel safe. It's like, and we even have clients that just will make an appointment and go to whoever, and I think that's a really big testament to, like, how cool Volume 1 is, because it's like, most people only trust their hairdresser and their hairdresser only for good reasons, because one mess up and you're screwed for a long time.
Like, I'm a guy, I have guy's hair, so it's like, dude, you can just shave our head and we'll be okay.
It'll grow back, right?
Yeah, but it's like, I get it. I mean, from my side, I get it. Like, you gotta be on your shit. Right. Anytime I've ever been to Volume 1, like, I think the first time I ever got my hair cut there was like 2012 or something. Mm-hmm. It was a long time ago. Mm-hmm. It's always felt like, I don't know, like, the top-notch place to be. Like, it didn't feel like, who the fuck is this cutting my hair right now? Right. It never felt like you were in weird hands. And Hurst was always on the floor walking around.
And he still is to this day. Yeah. He has a family now, and he, you know what I mean, has other business ventures. Well, not really business ventures, but you know what I mean. We're opening a second location of Volume 1, so that's been a big thing right now. It should be...
Is that local or somewhere else?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, really?
It's actually just, like, for some new space.
Okay.
We've actually... So, you know where Volume 1 is now?
Yep.
So then the Fiore flower shop was attached. Mm-hmm. We actually have owned that spot as well for a couple years now, but we've still grown out because of that apprenticeship program. We like to have 5 apprentices or assistants, whatever you want to call them. Yeah. And if they finish that program successfully, they have a spot. So we have to find room to put these people. So it's an awesome problem. We've just rapidly grown. So... but he still is behind the chair, doing hair and hanging out and managing all of us crazy people.
And it's if you haven't been to the location, it's very sick. Like, it's 2-story. Mm-hmm. I've never been on the second story. I don't even know what goes on up there.
So it is a 2-story building. Half of it is a 2-story building,
it's
and
like
up there it's a loft. We used to like have weddings and stuff up there, but now it's really more so like storage. There's an office. That's where we hide from our clients if we need to.
Word.
Eat lunch, etc.
Yeah.
Not actually hide, but. Kind of sometimes.
So I also see that you have merch, or was that like a one-off thing? I saw on one of your posts.
My Hair by Kenzie shirt?
Yeah.
Okay, so my best friend Nadine, her boyfriend Ian got a Cricut a couple months ago, and he's just been firing off these one-off stupid shirts. Like, he's got these bootleg band tees and stuff like that, and he made it for me and just gave it to me one day. But he made it for me and a coworker of mine named Catherine.
Sick.
Isn't it sweet?
It's
I almost
sick.
Wore it, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to do that.
You should have.
My shameless self-promo.
It would have been funny.
Yeah. But yeah, Volume 1 is one of, I think even if I ever do, I would never leave Volume 1 unless I was moving out of state for whatever reason, which I have no plans to do. But I don't think I'll ever work somewhere that's like that, because, I mean, just like any workplace, of course there's going to be internal issues, but like, it's such a big family. Like, I mean, I don't know. I've never worked anywhere else, so maybe it is like that other places. But I can't imagine having a staff that's that large and such a huge machine. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
everyone getting along and treating each other like they do. Like,
Yeah.
it's so fun. I look forward to going to work every day.
It's
I
a
really
testament to him and how he's been able to put things together. Because,
He
dude,
is-
in this house, there's only 2 people. It's me and Hilton. And sometimes me and him, I'm like, can't get things to lay correctly. We're 2
Yeah.
people.
He's one of the best people that I've ever worked. I think he's probably the best person I've ever worked for and will ever work for, because he's fun. You know what I mean? And he jokes around with us and he plays with us and he appreciates us. He takes us, the whole staff, to do stuff all the time, bowling or go to a baseball game or whatever it is, so that we're all together. But he's also serious enough to where he demands respect from you, and there's a line that should not be crossed in professionalism when it
Yeah.
comes to joking around. When it comes to, you get your job done, and then we joke around.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty rare to have both. Like, I know that I can mess with him, and I'm not scared of him,
Yeah.
but I respect him so much that I would never mess with him too far.
Yeah.
So,
You definitely, it's like a unspoken rule. You kind of get
is.
a lay of the land for
Yeah.
the person, yeah.
so
Me and Hilton are not like that.
At
I
all.
mean, we also do jujitsu, so that's basically we fight each other. You know,
Okay.
so it's like there's that level, but then, I mean, we have our thing of the podcast is us kissing each other. That was from a real photo. It was a joke photo, but it's like we're like brothers.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So there's like the boundary is so blurred,
right,
you know, but it's like I've never met somebody that I've meshed so well with as like another person. You know,
Right.
like you're always like trying to fit yourself to be who you think the person you're around is wanting you to be of
Correct.
you
correct.
kind of thing. But with Hilton, it's like I'm just myself.
Which is refreshing, isn't it?
It's like he's like a dog. I mean that in the best way. Like, I mean, it's like whenever you come home from like a long day, no matter what it was, like you see your dog. I would say my cat. I have a cat for like 10 years now, but a dog is just down for whatever is like
You're,
what's
like,
going
excited.
on.
Like
Like
wants,
what's good,
wants
dude?
to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Wants to know what's up. I love that.
Yeah, but my cat is just like, did you bring food or?
It's a cat.
Yeah.
I love cats. I'm into cats, but also people have cats because they can do their own thing.
Exactly.
You don't have to take care of
I
them.
love
really.
my cat, and my cat
You just have to
loves
feed him.
being. Yeah, exactly.
That's
All I
about
got to
it.
do, feed her and clean her shit box, and she's good. She's
Or if you
solid.
let them outside, there you go.
See, she's super like. How do you say this? Like, she's not preppy, but
She's not
she
going out.
thinks she wants to go outside, and then she'll be outside, and then she's like,
I don't think so.
"Hey, I think I'm gonna get in trouble."
I think that there's AC in there.
Yeah, and she starts looking around like I'm gonna get mad at her. She's like, "This ain't even worth whatever this is gonna be." So I'm just gonna go back inside. But when I first got her, I got her from my sister, and my sister, she was an indoor-outdoor cat at that
That's
time.
how we've always done it in my family.
Yeah.
It's like you go on vacation for like a weekend, you're like, see ya. You come back and they're outside.
See, I'm like, it's not that I'm possessive, but it's like, that's my cat.
I get it.
If somebody else hurts her, bro, I don't even know what I'm gonna do.
I know.
You
I
know,
get that.
like that would break my heart. Like,
I want a cat so bad, but I can't have. My landlord is dogs only.
what?
I
never
know.
understood
Isn't that
that.
weird?
Yeah.
It's either be all or none.
Yeah.
So, and I would absolutely, literally cry if I could get. My dream is I want a wiener dog really bad.
Oh, why don't you get a winter dog?
Because I work all the time and I don't want to bring an 8-week-old puppy home
Word.
and then have to leave it.
You don't
for
have a
12
roommate?
hours. No, I live alone.
That's difficult. You can only really execute animals if you have a roommate
Or a significant other.
Yeah, it's very tough. And
Or
even
work
then,
from home.
Yeah,
Like I work 12-hour days, so
yeah. You just gotta kind of hope you're either with somebody or your roommate is opposite schedule,
correct.
or kind of
My plan is to either wait and or get a puppy and then make it a shop dog.
You know what the move is? Get your parents a wiener dog
And then borrow it.
and just be hanging out there all the time, and then be like, "Well, you want to just spend the night at my house a few nights?"
My mom would be like, "Get this dog out of here." She has a golden doodle named Louie.
And golden doodles are huge.
He's not.
right?
He's a mini. He's like 40 pounds.
Oh, really?
He's so cute.
Dude,
He's mostly poodle, so he's really curly, and like if you blow dry him, he's like looks like a cartoon.
huge. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
my
adorable.
buddy Ryan and his wife, they got a golden doodle, and they thought it was gonna be like the table big.
Yeah, that's what ours was supposed to be.
Dude,
too.
he sits on the couch and he's like huge.
Yeah, me and my dad surprised my mom with ours. We got him from a breeder up in Ohio and had him flown here, and he was supposed to be like a mini, like max of 20 pounds.
Oh,
he's 40, but it's still not huge. You know what I mean?
True. See, I don't ever think my cat is big, and then I'll put her on the scale because she looks big.
She's thick, isn't she?
She's 13 pounds. That's heavy.
That's a big cat.
That's a big cat. I didn't know that was a big cat.
Yeah.
Like, I see her, but she's got that, like, flap where it looks like she had babies.
She's an old lady.
But nobody ever knows if she had babies or not. We were never around.
How old was she when you got her?
Well, I got her when she was, like, 3. I got her from my sister because she was an indoor-outdoor cat, right? And I would go over there, and she'd, like, come inside, and then she'd rub her face on your face, and I'm like, oh, I love this cat.
I love you.
And I was working on my sister about it for, like, a year, and she just would never give me the cat. And then she texted me one day, and I was like, she asked me what I was doing. I said I was going to shelter to get a cat. And she goes, are you really getting a cat? And I was like, I'm really getting a cat. And she goes, just come get Callie. Which at the time, her name was Sophia, but I like Callie more.
Callie.
Yeah. And, yeah, I got her, and I don't know. To me, she doesn't look any different, but, like, Tiffany, my sister, thinks she looks different now.
Okay.
Like, she definitely put on some LBs, you know?
Yeah. She's, how old is she?
She's 13, but,
So
dude, you would have no idea. You would have no idea. If you saw her, you'd be like, that looks like a regular cat.
My mom also has a dog, a Pomeranian that's 14 or 13 or 14, and you can tell now, and I'm like, nope.
Ginger, the dog you saw when you walked in, she's like 14 or something. I mean, yeah,
Labs live a while though.
Well, I mean, if she is supposed to be a yellow lab, that is not yellow. You know what I'm saying? She's like an off-white. It's not looking good, you know?
No, I can't. That's another reason why I'm like, I don't know if I can have pets yet.
Yeah.
Especially if something happens to them before. Like, okay, old age, it's sad, but it's like, it's their time. Just like people, you know what I mean? But if something were to happen to my animal before it was their time, I think it would ruin me.
It's an issue. Like, when I decided I was going to adopt a cat, it was like I had just gotten out of a relationship, and I was like, I want something that makes me feel like I should be home.
Correct.
Or something to feel like a connection there.
Right.
Right.
To not feel, it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
if you're lonely, it is a companion of sort.
And a cat is a perfect mix because you can not feel lonely, and then also, you can also feel lonely. If you want to feel lonely.
They're not going to annoy you.
Yeah, they're just going to go do their own thing. They're like, not now? Cool, because it wasn't my time anyway, you know? Right. But I adopted her, and I was like, cool, I'm going to have her like 3 or 4 years, you know? I didn't think that cats live for fucking
forever.
ever,
Sometimes
dude.
they live to like 20.
Dude, even longer than that. Dude, I've seen some videos online where it's like 20-something-year-old cat, and like the cat is still doing pretty good.
Oh, God. I thought you were about to say they look like they're like decrepit, because I've
some
seen
look
those,
like-
and I'm like,
yeah.
that cat is miserable.
Some look like hell, but
Let it go.
But some of them, I'm like, what are they feeding them? They're like, not kittens, but
literally probably like the cheapest food.
Yeah.
Dry food. Nothing special.
It blows my... Well, dude, I used to work at Target. I used to make appearances at Target. They pay me pretty good to just be there.
Okay.
And some of the money people put into animal food, they have a cooler section.
I've
just
seen
for
it.
Dude.
The Fresh Pet or whatever it's called, something like that. I have a friend that gives that to her dog, and I'm like,
yeah.
My family personally has never been like that. Like, we love our animals and treat our animals well, and they, you know what I mean, get everything they need and more. But, like, you know, the cats get dry cat food. Like, maybe a wet food once or twice whenever my mom sees it and is like, I'll get him a treat. Yeah. The dog eats whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever's good for him. I'm sure the vet recommends it or whatever it is. But, like, she's not going to cook the dog dinner. Because there's people that do that.
Dude, I know people that make their animals real food.
Oh my God, we had this conversation at work the other day, and we were actually, a couple of us were behind the shampoo bowl, all shampooing our clients, and someone, my coworker Tasha, she has a Frenchie.
Oh, dude, I love Frenchie. I used to have one.
There's Frenchies all over Volume 1 right now. There's 3 people that have them. So, but she has one, and her name is Isabel, and she said something about giving her filtered water, and I was like,
filtered water?
Hold on a minute. Everyone was like, yeah, we give our cats and our dogs filtered water. I was like, are you kidding? That's just not a thing in my household. You get the water out of the sink,
Yeah.
out of the hose. I don't even feed myself filtered water. I'll drink it out of the sink.
Out of the sink?
Yeah.
You're wild.
It's the same.
Yeah, but it tastes different.
No, it doesn't. You know those...
What do you mean, no, it doesn't
You know those
taste
water
different?
things that you can, like, buy on the shelf that have a little spout? Like the...
Oh, it
like
goes on the thing?
No, it's like... It's like in the bottled water aisle. It's just like bottled water, but it's giant. And it has a little spout on it. You can put it in your fridge.
Yeah, I have one in my fridge right now.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I have one of those, but it's reusable. I just fill it up in the sink.
Yeah.
And it goes in my fridge.
Oh, that's the same thing.
Yeah, but it's just it's sink water.
Yeah, but it's filtered.
No, it's not. It doesn't have a filter on it. I'm talking about like the plastic ones.
Yeah, I have one of those, but it has a filter on it.
Mine doesn't. I just bought it from Walmart.
Oh, man.
It's if it's cold, it's good.
You're a problem.
I know.
Because
maybe that's what happened to me.
You burned your mouth is what happened. You have ruined the inside of your mouth.
You think?
Water, look, dude, when I was a kid, water was different. Like, I didn't mind the hose taste because it was like, oh, this
I just genuinely don't think it tastes any different.
Yeah, something's wrong with you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things, but that one right there is the one that I'm not that worried about.
Yeah, but that's the door on the house of things that's wrong with you. Is like, oh, I think tap water tastes funny.
There are certain things that I do that people are like, that's concerning. I'm like, oh. You said door on the house. I'm like, do you lock... I don't know if you want to say that, but do you lock the door to your house all the time?
Fuck yes.
I don't.
Okay, you're wild.
Yeah,
I'm a guy, and I can take care of myself because, like, I train for a living, so, like, if anything ever went down, I know what to do.
Yeah.
I double everything.
The front door,
I wake up in the middle of the night to go double check the deadbolt.
So I live in the middle of East Hill, and so, like, I live on a corner lot. I, like, park in the back, so I don't really...
What was your exact address?
Yeah, let me tell everybody.
Yeah.
There's not much there, you know what I mean? So, go on in.
Yeah.
But, like, the front door, this is how my brain works, which is not at all. The front door has, like, a doorbell camera and, like, like the hotel latch, and I keep that shit locked all the time. But I leave the back doors.
The hotel latch, like the thing that you just sling over. And
it's like that. Like it's like the little chain.
It's like this, and it. Oh, okay,
mine's like a little chain, so that stays locked all the time where the camera is. But where there's no cameras, I just leave. I cannot be bothered to lock the door when I come and go.
I mean, also,
like
if
right
that
now,
is the only thing
you
locked,
could go to my house right now and walk right in.
You're insane.
And what's funny is I do get scared. Like I'll get home from work and be like, oh fuck.
Why don't you lock things?
I just don't. I think it's an ADD thing, or it's like, you know what I mean? Like I'm so go that like I cannot be bothered. I don't know if it's like I'm lazy or what it is. It just irritates me. Like I don't want to get the keys out. I need to get one of the like keypads to like really solve the problem.
Dude, you really? Because what would it be to remember a code?
I know.
Nothing. You know what you are?
I lock the door when I'm inside. I lock the door if I'm inside the house, the door's locked. But if I'm not there,
I hope all your friends at this salon listen to this because I'm gonna break you down right now.
Well, they know that I don't lock the door. They get mad at me all the time.
I know, but I'm gonna describe to you what you are, what you would be perfect being.
Okay.
A mom of multiple children because one, you already don't care to filter water, which means you're good with water on the go, which you won't have a lot of complaining. Oh, God. You're just like, deal with the fucking water, okay?
Yeah, drink it. You'll be fine.
Yeah, and then you don't lock the house, so you're just on the go.
Yeah.
You're like, let the kids in and out of the house.
Oh, yeah, and if I do ever have children, which I don't know if I want to or if I'll get the chance to. I'm in no rush, but yeah, that's how
they'll
it should
plug
be.
right into your life, and they'll be strong children.
Yeah.
Because if they can just wander out into the street...
I get worried every once in a while. I'm like, oh, someone could be in the house. But also, like...
You'll send a kid in. You'll be like, go check that.
Hey, go
check your brother's room.
The oldest boy. Go on in.
Yeah. See?
Now
you already have it in your mind that you're going to have boys?
I would hope so. I would be a great boy mom.
There you go.
I don't know. I've always...
I think you could do it. You have a like... Ooh. Build strong children vibe.
Having children, and I feel like at 28 years old, it's so funny. I'm going to step back a little bit. It's like whenever I was younger in high school, I always thought like by 24, like I'd be married with a couple of kids.
Yeah.
And now that I'm 28, I'm like, oh shit, thank God that is not my life now.
Yeah.
Which it is for some people, and that is, you know what I mean? It's a blessing for those that want that. But now that I'm here, I'm like, the thought of having a child now, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just learned how to take care of myself like recently. And now you want me to take care and pay for them?
Dude,
no.
It is crazy how different your mind is throughout your years. Like, dude, I never thought like any of this would be the way it is. I also haven't felt what it feels like to be an adult yet.
I am,
and I'm older than you.
so I just got there at 28 years old. I do feel like in between 27 and 28 is like where I've really like, okay, you know what I mean? I can survive the world on my own. Like
Right.
if I would I like to make more money than I make right now in my life? Yes, but I could survive as a functioning adult with how much money I make right now, with where I live, all that, and I'm good. So that's what makes me feel like I'm accomplished enough to continue on.
So you like, so you feel like you're an adult. Do you look at your other friends, like the people in the salon? What do you call them? Salon mates?
Just coworkers, I guess.
Coworkers?
But yeah.
Okay. Do you look at your coworkers and like, are there some people that you're like, that's an adult, that's not an adult, that's just like my friend? Like for example,
Yeah.
when I see Hurst, like that's an adult.
Yeah. There's certain people, and that's the thing. It's like being a hairdresser. It's like people come from all walks. You know what I mean? It's really just a creative mind, and it's so
Yeah.
crazy. It's like, there's a couple that like and it's hard to explain. There's some people that are ahead of me in doing hair that are 23, and there's
Yeah.
some people that are around the same as me that are 30.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, but it's like I work with people who are moms of two. I work with people who are engaged. I work with multiple people who are married. I work with people that I don't see getting married anytime soon. It's literally, but
They know who they are.
What?
I said they know who they are.
Right, and that's, they're happy with
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean?
That's fine.
Most people are where they're
Yeah.
where they would like to be. It just kind of depends. It's like,
Yeah.
and I think hairdressers are kind of known for being the wild people. You know what I mean? Have you felt
I
that?
definitely understand that, but like I do also see, like, I feel like locally there's like a professionalism to them as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of respect for hairdressers around
Yeah.
here, which is really cool, because I think it was until, I would say like the past 5-10 years where people are like, thought hairdressing was like the job you do if you fail at everything else.
I definitely remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually had a girl recently for the first time. And you know what I mean? And I've been around hair since 2019, working in the salon. If I, like, you hear stories about it, but I had never heard it. And she came in and I was just cutting her hair. She had never been to Volume 1 before. And she said to me, "So is this like your this is your only full-time job?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is my career." And she was like a teacher, like a young teacher, whatever. And I didn't have the heart to tell her that, like, most of us in this building probably make more than you, which it's not a competition, but is that your real job?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What makes a job a real job? I don't know, but
It's kind of like what makes a person an adult. I think it's a vibe. Like,
yeah.
like why I was asking you about like your salon mates is like some of the people you meet in life, like they could be younger than you, but they feel like they have a professionalism to them that they're an adult.
Okay.
I feel like I'm never gonna hit that line.
Oh, I don't either. I kind of hope I don't.
Yeah, I want to stay young forever.
Me too.
Young at heart.
I'm fun.
Yeah.
I think. But I work with a girl, and I say this all the time. She is one of the most insanely talented hairdressers I'm sure I'll ever work with. Her name is Carla. I apprenticed under her for probably about 6 months, and she's one of those people that when she does things, it's almost irritating because it makes no fucking sense. But she creates some of the most beautiful hair, and because she did a lot of teaching to me and this and that, she feels so much older than me. She's 29.
So much
you know
more
what I mean?
experience.
I'm 28. Like, she's barely a year. She might have
Yeah.
just turned 30. So, like, she's barely 2 years older than me. But to me, like, she's an elder of mine that I respect
you.
like that. Which is so crazy to think about.
It's super wild, too. Like, I definitely understand that. Like, when I look at Hilton, like, he's, like, 10 years younger than me. But I see everybody as my height, my size,
Yeah.
my age.
Yeah.
But I don't think of me in those situations. I look at them and I see all their characteristics and I think, oh, I am that. Like,
Yeah.
because I just don't think of me. I'm like when I'm around Hilton, he's like 22 or something like that, or 23 maybe. And I think, oh, I'm like his size and I'm a kid just like he is and I'm playful.
But you have 10 more years of life.
Yeah, and I don't even think of that.
Do you ever think, what have I done in the last 10 years?
Yeah, no. All the time.
I don't like doing that.
Yeah, it'll fuck your day up, dude.
Yeah, and I went to Catholic high, and so like I have a lot of friends that have.
Is that as bad as that sounds? Like people always get
I
on like
didn't have
Catholic
a
school.
great time, but I didn't have a really bad time. You know what I mean? Like I had a really good group of friends. I feel like in high school is when I kind of started realizing that I was a little bit different than most of the people I went to high school with, and you know, I don't know, like I wanted to test out with fashion. I wanted to do weird things. I was surfing back then.
Sick hair, by the way.
Thank you.
I used to also have pink hair.
Really? You should do it again.
I had like every color hair when I was in high school. I had a mohawk.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Collectively, this is like almost 2.5 years of pink hair.
Sick.
I just got it done.
I know. I
my
saw
coworker
you, like,
Maddie does it. Yeah,
that was dope.
we have such a good time every time she does it. But I just like I got my first tattoo in high school, and that was like a big thing at a Catholic school, and I did like feel like I got a little bit of backlash from that, and it might have been worse. You know what I mean? I feel like I've kind of like put some of that to the side, and like I don't like to think about it. Yeah. I think that's like a defense mechanism of most people. But I did enjoy my time in high school. Would I go back? Absolutely not. You could not pay me enough. But a lot of the people that I was close with in high school like are married with children, and I'm like, how did we get here?
Yeah.
Like what were y'all doing? And I guess what it was is that they were not drinking and doing drugs all the time, and they found someone and settled down.
Dude, I've seen things in the opposite way as well, or like I guess maybe a similar way is like you'll see somebody that you feel like if this is high school for them, their life is gonna be all gold and just like rainbows and butterflies.
That's usually when they peak.
That is exactly it. Like
do you secretly love to see it sometimes?
You love to see it, dude.
I love it.
Dude, I used to know this dude that was a jock. He was funny, handsome. All the girls were trying to be all over him all the time. Like I was like a skater kid. Long hair, and then like for 3 of my 4 years, I had a mohawk that was colored.
Yeah.
Like, so I fit that kind of bill, you know? But I was cool with everybody. Everybody liked me.
That's how I was too.
Yeah.
I feel like, at least.
And then you would see like just him and his crew and like people like him, like that prototype, just kill it at high school, right? And they would be everywhere, popular with anybody. They could talk to anyone.
Anybody.
Right? And I've seen them now.
Now they're like,
dude, they're like
working a miserable job as an assistant somewhere.
And I hate to say this, and this sounds like such a shallow thing to say, but like their body's not the same as it used to be.
Which, things happen in people's lives. I get it. You don't want to sound like in that way, but it's like if someone was mean to people, that's the day they deserve. I don't know. That's what I like to. That's what I hear people say that. And I'm like, just have the day you deserve. Yeah. That's all you need to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You see people on these certain paths where you're like, I can see this starting to go bad, but like surely they're gonna correct it. And like some of these people just never correct it, or they haven't yet.
Right.
A lot of them just haven't hit that thing yet.
Yeah. Or
you'll see somebody that like the opposite of that. You were like, dude, nobody liked this person in high school. I was cool with them, or
right. And now they're
and they're so successful now, or they're like. They're shredded, or like they're rich and famous, or like whatever. Yeah,
they're living in New York, living the dream. Or they're just whatever their dream is. They're living it.
Yeah, they're married with children and unbelievably happy. I'm like, God, I want that solitude in my mind to be like, this is what it was meant to be.
I feel like I kind of fell in the middle of those two things we just described. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I don't think I got worse and then I got better. It wasn't like a. I don't know.
I feel like you, like, from an outside looking in, you definitely feel like you're crushing it.
Thanks.
Yeah, you seem like you're right where you need to be.
I feel that way now. And, it took me probably until, I don't know, I would say the beginning of this year to really feel that. And you go through these things where it's like I had all these goals set, and then you reach them, and, like, when you're working on yourself and you don't have anything set, it's like, now what? And then I'll get, like, in one of those little depressive things. I'm like, what am I doing? What have I done? Or it's, even, like, in relationships. It's like, you know what I mean? Whenever I'll, like, start to get lonely and think, okay, maybe, like, I would like to find somebody. I'm like, maybe if I wouldn't have fucked with my life so much, I would have been settled by now. I would have been happy.
No, you are right where you need to be.
And that's messed up to think about. And saying it out loud, like, when I'm in a good headspace, it's the most ridiculous thing. Because everyone's got a plan. Yeah. I don't know what mine is. I'm still working on it. But... yeah. So it did take me a couple years though to like really feel like stable.
Yeah.
And whenever you're in that, it's a wild ride.
I can only imagine.
It's so emotional. I can't. I mean, and I still like. I'm a big fan of crying. Like, really big fan of crying.
There's nothing like a good
If anyone
cry.
from my job watches this, they're all gonna die laughing because like I'm the queen of like going to the back and like giving it a good 30-second like blubber, like real fucking cry, soaking it back in, and I'm back out there.
What is the number one thing that gets you at work?
I just get really overwhelmed. I'm really, really hard on myself, and I say this to my mom all the time, and she's like, you know, you don't have to worry about messing things up anymore. But my big thing is that like I have this horrifying fear of failing now because I did mess so much up. Like I cannot mess anything else up in my life, or I will, you know what I mean? It'll ruin me because I'm just now learning what it's like to not mess things up, to not be like everyone's disappointed in me. So that terrifies me. So it's like if I don't hit the mark completely on someone's hair, if I get overwhelmed, it ruins me on the inside because I just want it to be perfect all the time.
Well, I'm sure.
So I'll go back there and I'll have a cry. There's a girl. It was like the first week. Her name's Kylie. She's been at Volume 1 for a few months now. And she was new, and so she had never seen it before. I walked out into the stairwell at Volume 1, and I let it loose. She was like, what the hell is going on? She's like, oh, God, oh, God. She came out. She's like, Kenzie's crying. And they were like, it's fine. And I came back out, and 3 minutes later, and she was like, what?
Yeah, you good?
What was that? How did you do that? I was like, yeah, it's showbiz. You got to get back out there.
Yeah, the show must go on.
Oh, it has to. People are waiting.
How often do you have to put on a face where you're like, whoa, this is not turning out how I thought or how I wanted it?
With this stage in my career that I'm at now, often.
Yeah. Really?
And usually it is
Is it you just getting in your own mind?
Yeah, usually. And I'm a human. I miss the mark sometimes. You know what I mean? But it's doing hair is a lot of trusting the process, and I'm really bad at that in all aspects of the phrase. Like, I don't want to try. I want to know the result now. I want the instant gratification of everything.
I'm right there with you.
So it's like, you know, say, I don't know, it's hair terms, but if you're going to do a toner on somebody's hair, sometimes when it's wet in that shampoo bowl, it looks dark. And you're like, or it'll look like a tinge of green. If you'll blow dry it, it looks spot on. So you have to, like, distinguish, like, do I need to fix this now or do I just need to blow dry it?
But how the hell do you know?
Because you just know eventually that, like, sometimes there's a new color we got, and in, like, the bottle when I'm mixing it up, it looks like the color of my hair, but it's like a cool toned color. So the first time I used it, I was like, what is that? They were like, just do it. Trust it. I'm like, okay. You put it on the hair, it's pink. And then when it's done, it's like the most beautiful icy blonde little toner. You just have to learn, and I prefer to learn when someone else has done it before me, so that I know. But see, I don't like to play.
I've done my hair at my house before. Like, I used to shave my head when I was like 4 or 5 years ago. I would shave my head and then dye it colors. Mm-hmm. So I would dye it blonde or bleach it blonde, I guess. And then I would try purple, not knowing that
purple tones yellow.
Yeah, and it like I put the purple in, but like after 1 or 2 washes, my hair was like silver. And I was like, what the hell happened to my head? I mean, I loved it, but then I tried to recreate it so many times that I could never get it to go silver again. And I was like...
Yeah, oh, yeah. You probably just whatever you used or the amount you used or how long you let it sit.
And it was like a perfect thing, and I just could never do it again. And I was like, cool, now it just looks like a shitty pink that I wasn't trying to do.
Doing hair is
scientific,
all about the color wheel. It's all about the color wheel. Everything you do, it's about the color wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild to see some of the shit you guys come up with. Like, I can't remember her name. I think it's Bree Creates on Instagram. But she'll do, like, she'll shave people's heads, or she'll do, like, short haircuts where it'll be, like, the head is, like, leopard print, or it'll be, like, art designs on the head. And it's, like,
mandalas,
and it washes out and it stays in like that. And I'm like, how the hell does it stay in?
Oh, she's, like, painting.
She's painting
the designs on, or is she like putting them in with clippers?
No, I mean it's like she's doing the design on the hair, and then they'll wash their hair, and the design will still be there.
Yeah.
Me, when I wash my hair, if it's got color in it, that shit's all over me.
Where are you getting? Where are you getting the hair color from?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, fucking Target, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the reason why people pay to get their hair done.
And
if everyone could do it on their own, they would.
There is big money in hair. Like
people don't realize how lucrative of a career of doing hair is. I'm new and I'm doing well enough. I'm 1 year into doing hair on my own, and I have a good clientele, but I'm not booked out for months.
Yeah.
Like people think. You know what I mean? I'll probably book out for a couple weeks, a month, whatever it is, during the holidays, a little bit longer. But I can support myself fully and buy the stupid stuff that I'm interested in buying. Like, I have a maid that comes once a month just because I don't want to vacuum the floor.
That's wild.
But I can support myself enough if I'm smart. You know what I mean? And that's just off my tips and my, you know, I make a commission, so.
I had no idea hair was like that, and one of my exes from a while ago, like 2012, I got her a Volume 1 thing, like a long time ago. And I was like, oh, I'm going to get your hair done, like, and then we'll maybe do your nails, or like, I don't know, we're going to treat her.
Yeah, a day.
Yeah, and then, like, we were going to check out, and I was like, oh, no, I think you got, like, a couple haircuts on there. We just got hers. And then
what'd you get, just a haircut?
It was a cut and color, but I had no idea. I mean, a guy's haircut, you can go some places,
30,
$5.
Yeah, but like if you're going to like a nice barbershop, $30.
Yeah,
30 to 40, 50. I don't know what it is, but
like White's Barbershop. Do you know what that is? White's Barbershop is like a barbershop that's off of Old Quarryfield Road that's been there for like,
cool.
I don't know, 50 years, right? Cool. And it's been like the same price for like
$8 if they're like charging for the crazy stuff, with the beard trim included.
Yeah, it's like.
Did they do a good job?
When I was a kid, it was $5. Since I've been an adult, I think it's $10 now.
I'm sure they do a great job too.
I mean, they're still there.
It's valid.
You know what I'm saying?
They're making money enough to stay open.
Their clientele has been there their entire lives, basically. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking that price range. I'm like, okay, so girls cut, that's probably like $20-$30. Color, maybe double that. I don't know, because when we buy color at the store, it's like
$8 a box.
Yeah, and I'm like, so what is that? Like $40 to $60. Not thinking that, and I wasn't making like the money I'm making now. Not that I'm making a lot of money now, but like in comparison, it's a lot of money. And I was like, cool, there goes a week's paycheck. Like I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I worked at the mall, so it's like mall money is not good money.
Right. I worked at the mall at one point in my life as well.
Yeah. Where'd you work?
Francesca's, when it first opened.
Word.
In 2000. What?
Is it still there?
12? I have no idea.
That's that boutique, right? It's like
over by like, I don't know. There was a Clark's.
I don't think it's
store
there now.
At one point.
I think that
I have not. I go to the mall, like pop in Dillard's or like H&M for like the next white T-shirts because I've cut all of mine in half. Then I need a full length one, and then I'm out.
Do you ruin a lot of clothes like with hair?
Yeah.
Word.
For sure.
How do you not just have that shit all over you all the time? Like the little bits of hair. Or do you not shave? Is it different when you cut hair?
Yeah, well, it's...
Does it not ever make you just be like...
Okay, so especially if you're cutting short hair, it will wreak havoc on your whole life.
Yeah.
For the rest of the day. It's like, it gets caught like in your elbows and you are like, you can't get it out.
I can't do the elbow thing.
So...
I'm at work,
that's my least favorite spot that it gets caught, but...
Dude, I'm at work and I'll take paper towels just midday and just
You're like, I
wash
can't...
here.
Yes,
just here.
Yeah.
Because that, I don't know what about that being sticky or sweaty. It's
gross. That's why.
It'll ruin my day, dude.
But hair splinters, do you know what that is?
Yeah.
It's a real thing. And like...
Oh, no, I guess I don't.
So it's people's hair, like teeny tiny little hairs. Yeah. And it'll get embedded in your skin like a splinter.
Like these?
Yeah, yes, but it'll in your skin. Like I had one in my knuckle that was there. It was probably there for like the last 6 months. It's finally
6 months
gotten itself out. Yeah, people. I've seen them. I mean, people.
It didn't grow a little beard.
People will get them like in their shirts and in their belly buttons, and oh man, it's like needles.
Dude, I'll have to wash shirts several times before I can wear them again.
Yeah.
And I mean, you see how my hair is, so you know that shit is gonna be like fucking fiberglass.
It's really if you're so. I don't really usually have a problem with it because I don't cut much short hair. It's just like not my specialty yet. I would love to get more into that, but with where I'm at now, focus on other things. So most of the hair I cut is wet, and wet hair sticks together. It doesn't really.
And it falls to the ground.
Yeah, but if I'm cutting after I've blow dried somebody, like detail cutting, oh man, it'll be all over you. It's stuck to your clothes. I wear an apron usually, just to like try to save some of my items of clothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll stick to you like till you take a shower.
So, what is your ultimate goal in here?
I don't know. Salon ownership is not a goal of mine. Yeah. I'm not someone who like wants to manage a team directly. Like I do some like behind the scenes stuff at Volume 1. Like I'm making schedules for apprentices and stuff like that, and I enjoyed that kind of stuff, but like I don't want to be in charge because I don't want to be the bad guy ever.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's tough.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't be the bad guy. I want to be everyone's friend. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't.
See.
That's not something that interests me because I don't want to be in charge. I don't want to. I just don't want to be in charge. I enjoy, being on my own and working on a team.
Maybe it's best you're not a mom. Because you gotta break hearts as a mom.
Well, when you're your own children, it's just your way or the highway.
Yeah, so, like...
I don't want to yell at somebody else because they wore a shirt that isn't appropriate. I don't care. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe if you became a mom, you would want to be a salon owner. Because then you're, like, breaking and whipping ass all the time. You're like, I could have a team.
Who knows? Life changes a lot, so who knows where I'll be in 10 years when I'm... You know what I mean?
I mean, definitely do yourself,
But as of right now, being a year into doing hair on my own, like, for me, it's just continuing on and just seeing where it goes. Like, I don't like to set any super, like, set in stone goals just because I don't know what's going to happen to me. You know what I mean? My whole life has been a testament to that. I don't know what's going to happen when. So, I don't know. I'm just want to continue on and continue to learn new things. And I don't know.
Is there anything exciting in the hair world that you haven't dabbled in that you're like, yo, this new shit is going on and I want to be a part of that kind of...
Not really. I mean...
Wave?
Maybe eventually I would like to get into education. So, like, big hair brands, companies, whatever, that do product or color or whatever, will hire on stylists to basically educate outward salons on their product. And that might be something I'd be interested in eventually if the brand is right. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's way far away from now because you need a lot more experience to do that. Yeah. But no, I would like to get more into, like, the barbering side of things. I was really interested in it when I first started, and then I just kind of, like, got caught up in making money from doing color. But barbering is a super lucrative way to do things too because it's, you know what I mean? Yeah. I always say it's like the Waffle House of a haircut. You're in and out and you make good money. Yeah. It's quick and easy. But
really,
not easy, but it's quick. You know what I mean? 45 minutes in and out, and there's your cash.
The clientele is kind of easy to please.
It is.
I would assume guys are easier to please when it comes to hair than it is girls. Just because it's like, there's really only so many haircuts for guys. Girls, y'all have more hair, so you can...
That's true.
Kind of, like, scale down or, like, keep what you got. And, like, there's only so many things you can do with what I got.
True.
You know?
So, yeah. I don't know. So that's eventually what I would like to get into a little bit more. I don't know. I've definitely leaned way more towards coloring hair than I do cutting. I don't know. I just feel like I have more of an eye for it. It's more of a project. You know what I mean? It excites me way more than... There's a lot of thinking that goes into it. And that's what I love about doing hair is, like, I've never shown up and had 2 days that are ever the same. Yeah. And I said that to someone recently, and they were like, personally, I prefer something a little less chaotic than that. And I was like, oh my God. Maybe I enjoy doing hair so much because I'm so used to having so much chaos in my life. Maybe. And now I have none in my outside life, so now it's my professional life. Yeah. And I was like, oh shit. Makes sense.
There's a little bit of two things going on there. Like, you're in the same location at least every day, so at least that's, like, uniform. Yeah. But then the project itself is fun every day because you don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be, who it's going to be. Even if I do know who it's going to be, who knows what they're going to ask me to do today. Yeah. So, I don't know.
Well, damn, dude. So, like, we didn't address this when you first got here, but you got us cupcakes, and Hilton's not here because he's off fishing, but thank you so much. That was so sweet. You didn't have to do that. Yeah. What is the...
It's a brownie, actually.
Oh, word.
With vanilla icing.
Okay. Is that, like, Fruity Pebbles in there?
It's sprinkles.
Sprinkles?
Because they're cute.
Okay. That's dope, dude. Thank you so much for that. Before we get out of here, is there anything you want to plug, like your merch line? Or
I don't have a merch line.
Or your friends... Boyfriend's cricket
he's
machine.
Not actually doing it, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you can think of anything else, did we cover it all?
I mean, I don't know what. Yeah, I mean, Hair by Kenzie, Volume 1. You're sober. How long is your sobriety now?
2.5 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of people haven't done anything for 2.5 years.
I know.
You know, like, some people haven't been in relationships for that long. Some people haven't been at jobs that long. You know?
I know, and it feels like 2 minutes at the same time.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you can remember, like, some of the craziest memories, like, pretty fluid right now.
Yeah.
It's wild how life is like that.
Glad that I'm here now, not where I was back then.
Well, Well, I'm gonna shout out some sponsors before we get you out of here. So Chauncey at Sacred Grounds Tattoo Studio, I do believe he got runner-up for Best of the Coast this year. Shout out to him. I think he's gonna be doing some runner-up merch or something like that. I think he was talking about maybe
Runner-up merch.
Don't hold me to that, but I think he's gonna do something fun with that. Check them out. They have some amazing tattooers. I never know the term, dude.
Sometimes people say tattooist.
Tattooers.
Person that does
tattoo artists.
A tattoo artist. Person that does tattoos.
Person that does tattoos. I was in front of him. I was getting tattooed, and I was talking to him. I was like, I said something about his tattoo gun or his machine, and he's like, it's not a gun. But I heard like 100 fucking tattoo artists or whatever you want to call them call their machine or whatever you want to call it a gun. It's like he was just picking on me.
Shears versus scissors.
Yeah,
it upsets some people when you call them scissors.
It's like, dude, I don't know. I'm an idiot and I don't do this for a profession. I'm just here. Yeah, but like, hey, you crush it at tattooing. So whatever you want to call that, you're killing it. Derek and the whole team over there at Kazushi Club Pensacola, Derek Overby, they are crushing it as a gym. It is located next to the Domino's on Scenic Highway. They are actually going to have some rash guards coming out pretty soon, but if you're in Pensacola and you're looking to learn no-gi jiu-jitsu, it's going to be like the best gym, period, in my opinion, for you to learn from. There are so many different body types. You're learning from a smaller guy, so he's able to teach you more effective jiu-jitsu. If you want to swing by and stop in, you have a free week trial anytime you want to come through. They also have open mats on Saturdays, so you don't have to go in for a class. You can just go in there and check out what it's about and talk to people while they're rolling. That's an awesome experience if you want to slide through. Rich at A Lifestyle Experiment just dropped his new rash guards, his no-gi shorts and shirts. And I think he is coming out with t-shirts. So if you want to check out A Lifestyle Experiment on Instagram, or we butcher his last name every single time we try to do it, but it's like Rich Kleminski, I think. But that is my boy. We just recently tagged him in our last post, or like one of the last posts that you're going to see. Me, or our podcast, Pensacola Vibes, and Edward Lordman all won Best of the Coast.
I saw that.
Ed won Best Chef. Pensacola Vibes won
Best
Videographer, and I think he got like Best something else or runner-up on the next one. On like another similar character. I don't remember. Yeah, thank you. That's like our first award we've ever won.
That's so cool. I saw that yesterday, and I was like, wait, cool, I'm doing that tomorrow.
Yeah, it's so dope. By the time this comes out, it'll be a few weeks since that has happened, so thank you so much, guys.
Got it.
But yeah, that's like a big thing to us. Like last year, we didn't even know how it worked. We thought like...
How long have you guys been doing this?
February 2020 is when we started February 2021 is when we started releasing them on like platforms, but 2019 is like when we started like...
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Okay, cool. Sweet.
Yeah, so I mean like this is going to be like episode 166 or something like that.
That's quite... Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We've done a few of them. But yeah, that's the first time we've ever won anything. We've had like little articles and stuff written about us, which this is in weekly as well. And when they reached out to us to do that, I was like, oh shit, because this was like right after voting had closed. And I was like, so what's up? So like the girl's name is Savannah, and I was like, can you tell us anything? And she's like, no, I don't know anything. And I was like, oh, is this gonna be like a featurette for like the winner? And she goes, I don't even know if it's going to be in that one or if it's going to be in like...
after
yeah. Or she goes, this might even be the cover. And I was like, what? I was like, that's fucking dope. It ended up not being the cover, but still, that's a pretty big spread. Like...
Oh, I actually read that.
Yeah.
I did read that.
Natalie Algar got the cover, but I mean, she crushes it
so
too.
Good.
But, yeah, I mean, for two idiots to just be talking shit, yeah, I mean, it's crazy that we made it into it.
Who took that photo?
My friend
Is it like
Danny.
a still shot?
Yeah, my friend Danny was like she.
It's perfect. It looks like it's staged, even though I know it's not.
Yeah, we were talking and like she's like, just do y'all thing, and we were just talking and she
like,
took the
right.
photo. But this is West Punk Media. That's who took this photo.
Okay, cool, sweet.
Yeah, she's pretty sick. Check her stuff out as well. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll be able to two-peat this thing or go on to do bigger and better things as well. Yeah. It's pretty dope. Like, I used to see the magazine in like stands and stuff around downtown, and I was like, how do you even make it to something like that? And now we're in one.
I will be. There's a Bella magazine. Have you heard of that one?
Bella, yeah, I think so.
I'll be in something like that in the next couple of weeks. I don't know when it is, though, because I haven't actually done the content yet. But I was like, you asked me to do this, and then they asked me the next day, and I was like, what's happening?
That's what's up.
I'm popular.
It's the universe. It's bringing it to you. You've done enough things in your past where your future is like, all right, the good shit's coming now. You know?
I finally did my time.
Pensacola Vibes, Sean Mullins, congrats to you for 2020 Best of the Coast. If you want anything videographer related or photos related,
For sure.
He does amazing drone work. He does amazing photos, couple stuff, beach stuff, wedding stuff.
And he's just fun to be around. I love Sean.
He is literally the vibe of Pensacola. So like, you're not going to go wrong if you do anything with him. A Rustic Spoon, if you're trying to get a taste of the town, Rusty Strain at a Rustic Spoon. They have a food truck. They just recently came out with a new page. It's called a Rustic Spoon FT, I think is it. So at the end of it, I need to talk to him about this. But at the end of it, it almost looks like it says a Rustic Spoon NFT. But it's because it's Spoon FT.
Okay.
So it looks like kind of scammy. NFT? I'm like, yeah, what is this?
Don't get me started on NFTs. I don't.
Yeah, I know some people on that too. But yeah, dude, if you're trying to get some good food, they just recently had a fire in their truck, so any extra tipping, yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was inside. I think it was on their oven. They had to have the fire department come out.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, so they had a little GoFundMe. So if you're eating there and you want to just set like an extra fat tip just to help them out, they're still trying to bounce back, but anything you can do will help. Panacea Martial Arts, Tony Rayborn, you just got your black belt. I was there. Congratulations. That is big fucking news. You have your black belt. Your soon-to-be wife, also mother of your soon-to-be child, has her purple belt. Your baby's about to be born. That's a white belt. Y'all got a family. Dude, y'all are doing big things over there. Congratulations. That is awesome news. Like, I cannot believe that. Like, all of us, whenever we start jiu-jitsu, always dream of being a black belt, and you've done it. Like, you've gone through the ringer of all the things that you can even think of that can happen in a jiu-jitsu career. Thrown to the fire, and you've absolutely come out shining, dude. I am so proud of you, and I'm so happy for you and everything that's going on with you. Our next sponsor, Realty Connections. If you're in the Pensacola area and you want to look at any property, there's not going to be a better educated person than Joshua George. He is an absolute wizard when it comes to setting you up for whatever you want to have in your future. Anything you are even curious about, you can look up to him for. If you have any questions as far as like how to build your credit, dude, he is a wealth of knowledge. So if you need anything answered, reach out to us. We can get you in communications with him, or we can link you in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, that's pretty much it on our sponsorships. I want to thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, it was a fucking blast. Thank you for the cupcakes, and I wish you nothing but success in your future, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, we want to wish you the best. I hope you guys tune in soon, see all the new things that are coming up. Also, get on Hilton for not being here on this one.
I'm the co-host now.
Yeah, dude, yeah, we moved on, bro. Good luck. All right, love you guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.